All right, everyone. So today's webinar is going to be all about Google Tools. As I'm sure you already know, we're going to teach you how to increase sales, how to increase traffic in your doors, and how to operate all of these amazing tools that we always reference. So some of them you may be familiar with, and some of them you may not be quite as familiar with yet, but that is the whole purpose of this webinar. So today we're going to cover Google Email, commonly referred to as Gmail. We're going to show you how to create a Gmail account if you don't already have one, and how to operate Gmail if you do have one. We're going to go into Google Drive, which is my personal favorite thing ever. All of our documents are housed in Google Drive, so anytime we reference anything, personal spa profiles, business to businesses, everything is housed in Google Drive. So I'm going to show you how to download that from Orion and actually get it onto your Gmail account. We're going to show you how to use Google Calendars. That's going to be great for accountability, for planning out your day, for scheduling promotions, any events that you may have. We're also going to go into Google Forms, which would be my second slash first favorite. It's a tie with Google Drive, but it's a great way to generate traffic. It's a lead capture for us, so we can use them at promotions. We can send them around to our B2B partners. We can send them to members to send around their office. So the possibilities are endless. We put them on Facebook, so many options. Then we're going to go into Google Voice. We're actually going to go in and create our own Google Voice number and set that up. We're going to put a forwarding phone to it so that the spa phone will ring. And I'm going to show you how to use texting from Google Voice. And then last but definitely not least is Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets is super awesome because you can actually convert Excel files into sheets and be able to share them with your coworkers, your franchisees, your spa directors, and they update in real time. So we're going to get more into depth on that as we go along. So Google Email, like we were just saying, it's called Gmail. So if we don't have a Gmail account already, I would absolutely 100% suggest that you make one. They're super easy to work and it's free. That's the best part. And it comes with 15 gigabytes of free storage. So that may sound like a lot for emails, but the storage also takes into consideration your Google Drive, your Google Sheets, everything that you house on any Google platform will use that storage. So your Google email account is also going to give you access to Google Hangout, which if you're not familiar with is basically like AIM Instant Messenger when you were younger. You can chat people, they get it instantly. It's easier than having to send emails back and forth, back and forth. It's basically like a texting chat, but via your email account. So you can add contacts to your Hangouts and you can chat with them very quickly. In Google Gmail, you can view your attachments instantly without ever leaving Gmail or downloading it first. So if somebody sends you an attachment, you can actually click on it, open it up in your email, and never even have to download it if you don't need it. You can get the information you need and exit out. That way it's not taking space on your personal computer. And when you create your Gmail account, it gives you access to all the other Google tools. So everything that we referenced just now, the Drive account, the Sheets, the Forms, everything that you need in order to help your business be more successful, you get for free with a Gmail account. So if you don't already have a Gmail account, I absolutely suggest creating one. And it's super easy to use. So now we're going to get into the interactive part of our webinar. We're going to show you how to actually create a Gmail account if you don't already have one. So I just Googled Gmail account. I had a direct link connected to my presentation. So up here in this little blue button, I'm going to press create an account. And I'm just going to go ahead and enter some information. So Brandy, my last name, I'm just going to use Nicole. So you can just make whatever username you would like. So I'm going to put Brand Nicole at gmail.com, my password, make one up. Birthday, just pick a birthday. I am a female. And then phone number. Now, I'm not going to put a phone number on my account right this second just because my phone is already connected to my actual work account. But to be able to use Google Voice and to be well, not to be able to use Google Voice, I'm sorry, to be able to use Google Calendars to alert you. So say you have an event on your calendar and you want Google Calendars to send you a text message saying, hey, you have this promotion tomorrow at this time, or you have a call with your franchisee in 20 minutes, you're going to need to use your mobile number. So I'm not going to input one right now, but when you set up your new Gmail account, go ahead and input your mobile number. And you can put your current email address in case you ever forget your password. It can forward you your password to your email address. So I'm going to enter the verification so they know I'm not a robot, agree to the terms of service, and next step. So again, this is the phone number. It's asking me to go ahead and add it to my account. I'm not going to do it right now for the reasons I just gave you, but if you're creating a Gmail account, absolutely go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to press continue. Will it let me? Let's see. Sorry, let's just see. All right, I guess I will put my account. And it just sent me a code. I'm going to go ahead and input that. Okay. So I'm going to continue on to my Gmail account. Taking a second to load. If you've never used Gmail, it'll walk you through the steps. I'm just going to exit out because I know how to use it already. So very simple. This was the Hangouts that we're talking about right here. I could just search. I don't have any chats. I could go in and type my name and search for me, and I would have to ask. I could send an invite and be able to chat with me from this email account. So very simple to use, very easy to create. Now we're going to go back to our presentation. Google Drive. So Google Drive, like I was telling you, is where we house all of our Orion documents and in every other tool that we should be using for staffing, accountability, management, managing to goals. And I know if you're using the Orion documents on the actual Orion site, it might take you a while. You have to search through file after file and dig around for what you may need. The cool thing about Google Drive, if you haven't already downloaded it to your Orion account, we're going to go ahead and do that. But the cool thing about it is once you download it to your Google Drive, you can actually search for anything you're looking for, whether that be PSPs or business-to-business information or Valentine's Day images, whatever you're looking for, you can actually just search it and everything that has anything to do with your search will pop up. So once you download or get Google Gmail like we just did, like we talked about, we're going to get 15 gigabytes of free online storage so we can house documents, photos, videos, recording, anything we want there. And our drive can be reached on our smartphone, tablet, computer, and it can be accessed from anywhere. So Google has created an app for every single platform that I'm going to show you today that you can download on your smartphone or your tablet and have easy access to it. And you can, on Google Drive, you can invite others to view it or download or collaborate on any other files that you want. And you can actually send files straight from Orion. So if you're the franchisee and you tell your spa director to get on Drive and search for a file in Orion, and for whatever reason they can't find it, I, as a franchisee, could get on Orion, pull up the file, and send it directly to them. I wouldn't have to download it to my computer and then go to email, add an attachment. I could send them the file directly from my Google Drive. And then if somebody sends you something, there's going to be a little triangle arrow that notifies the Google Drive, its symbol, and you click on it and it would automatically be saved to your drive. So now I'm going to show you how to add Orion onto your Google Drive if you have not already done so. So you can do it one of two ways. You can log into Spa Central and then click the Orion tab from the top tabs, or you have the link directly to Orion. If you don't already have this link, just contact your regional performance consultant and they can provide it to you. But once you click the Orion link, there's going to be some little list right here in the left-hand corner, and I'm going to go ahead and click Orion Documents. Now, once I click Orion Documents, it's going to take me to my Google Drive. Now, right here, this little blue button that says Add to Drive, all I have to do is click it. Now, if you already have a Gmail account, but you're not logged into your account, it'll say log in. It'll have you log in, and then you can add it to your drive. So since I'm already logged into my Gmail account, I'm going to go ahead and click Add to Drive. Now it has been added to my drive. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Open in Drive. Now, with Orion Documents, sometimes it takes a couple of minutes to download all the files because we have thousands and thousands of files stored here. So like just now, I just clicked my Eileen targeting convention files and nothing popped up here. That's because it hasn't downloaded to my files yet. So it could take up to 20-30 minutes to download. So what I went ahead and did was create an additional account earlier this morning and downloaded my files already. So now I'm going to go into that account just so I can show you how to search in Orion. So I'm going to go to, say I'm in my Gmail account, I want to also show you how to get to Drive if you're in Mail. So I'm in my Gmail account. If it loads, there we go. And this little square up here, these are all your apps. Now, the more you use the app, it'll show up here. These are my favorites. Now, since I just created this Gmail account for intents and purposes of this webinar, these are just generic apps up here. But you'll notice the Google Drive icon that I was just talking about, this little triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and click Drive. It's going to take me to my Google Drive where all my Orion documents are. Now you'll notice if I click on mine, they're all loaded. I can look in any folder you want. But I'm going to go back just so I can show you how to search. Very simple. You just go to your Drive icon like we just did and say I'm looking for PSPs. I need to print some. So I just type in PSP. I'll go to my personal spa profile. Now this is what I was talking about. You don't have to download it to your computer. You can view it right here, and you can also print it from here. So it's going to save space on your computer and make things hassle-free, right? So just go to print, and I can print it straight from here. Boom. Very simple, very easy. Say I'm looking for B2Bs, anything on B2Bs. I'll type in B2B. Everything, oh, I got logged out. Sorry about that. Let me log back in. Go to my drive. Anything that has to do with B2Bs is going to go ahead and pop up for you. So we have our manual, we have programs, we have webinars. Everything that has anything to do with B2Bs is going to pop up. So searching on Drive is very simple. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you've been searching through Orion file after file, digging around. If you just type it in, it's going to pop up for you, making it very easy. So now that we've added Orion to our Google Drive and we know how to search in Orion, let's go on to our next Google tool, Google Calendars. So Google Calendars is going to help us to stay organized. It's going to help us ensure that our goals are hit, and it's going to keep our team on the same page. So with Google Calendars, you can track all of your important events or tasks and items in one place. We don't have to use the calendar on our phone or, our planner. We can use Google Calendars. It notifies us anytime we have an event coming up, and you can actually sync it to your phone to where it links, say you have an iPhone, where it links with your iPhone calendar. Or you could download the Google Calendar app onto your phone and use it from there. And if you don't want to download the calendar or sync it with your iPhone calendar, you can actually have Google Calendars text you, like we were talking about, before an event comes up. So we can share our calendars with our coworkers. So, for example, in our spa performance department, it's Danielle, Alyssa, Megan, and myself, and we all have access to each other's calendars. You might be asking why. Well, say one of us wants to plan a meeting for us to talk about next month's marketing calendar. We can go in, I'll go in, look at everyone's calendar. I'll see when everyone's free. So I'll notice everybody's free on Thursday. I'll go ahead, create an event, and I'll share it with them. That way they know at this time on this date I've set up a meeting and everyone needs to be there, and they can actually accept it, which we're going to get into in a couple of minutes. So like we were saying, we can create events and invite people. We can share our calendars with others. If you only want to look at your calendar, you have the option to hide everyone else's calendar. Google Calendars is a very neat tool. So we're about to get into how to navigate and operate Google Calendars. But before we do that, if you weren't aware, we do have a company calendar that is located on Orion, and I'm going to show you how to add it to your Google Calendars. That way you never miss out on the Monday motivations or our Wednesday webinars or anything that we have going on in the corporate world here at Planet Beach. So Franchisee School will show up. It'll notify you anytime we have an event going on at corporate. So there's one of two different ways that you can add the calendar to your Google Calendars, add the company calendar to Google Calendars. The first one is actually going to be on Spot Intel. You'll notice, and I don't know if you've ever noticed it before, but there's a calendar on your Spot Intel. All you would have to do is click on that calendar, and at the bottom in the right hand corner, they'll have a little plus sign. It'll say add to Google Calendars. You'll go ahead and click that button. It'll have you log into your Gmail account, and then it'll add it. The second way, which I'm going to show you right now, is to actually go to the Orion link, which I just used when I was adding my documents to Orion. My documents to Gmail, I'm sorry. So same like we just did for the Orion documents, I'm going to go ahead right underneath it. It says company calendar. I'm going to click there. It's going to take me to my company calendar. Now right at the bottom, there's this little Google Calendar button, which if you're doing it from Spot Intel, it's going to look exactly like this. This little plus Google Calendar button is going to be the exact same on your Spot Intel if you do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. It's going to take me to my Google Calendars, and it's going to make sure I want to add this calendar. I'm going to press yes. And then you'll notice the Orion company calendar has been added. So as you can see right now, our webinar Wednesday is going on from 11 to noon. So you can see right there, and the red line marks the current part of the day. We can see the webinar Wednesday is going on. And right now we actually have Franchisee School this week. So you can see every single day it's marked off for Franchisee School. Now say you did not feel like looking at our company calendar right now, all you would have to do is go to the left-hand side and uncheck it, and all of the corporate stuff will disappear. So I can recheck it and it'll show up. Now, say I'm using my personal calendar. I'm going to go ahead and hide the company calendar for now. This is my personal calendar. So I went ahead and put Monday Motivation on my calendar, but say I wanted to add a calendar just for my promotions. So I'm going to go to my calendars. I'm going to click this little arrow and press create a new calendar. Name of our calendar, we're going to call it promotions. And I'll just go ahead and press create calendar. Give it 1 second to show up. So my promotions are going to show up in yellow. If you go to this arrow on the side, you can change the color of your calendar. Say I want my promotions to show up in this purple color. So what I can actually go ahead and do is maybe on Friday I'm having a promotion with a boutique. And for under the calendars, I'm going to go ahead and click promotions so it knows what color to change it to. And I'm going to say Blink Boutique. And I can go in to edit my event. Now, we can put it from 4 to 5, but maybe it lasts until 6 o'clock, so it's for 2 hours. And I can go ahead and put the address of the event. Let's just say that's the address. Now I can put a description. So if I am the spa director creating this event, I want to share it with my franchisee, I can put a description for them to see. Will be at this event for 2 hours. Have a goal of getting, let's say, 50 leads, right? So I could go and pass out guest passive and be passive, but I'm going to actually go there and get 50 leads. That's my goal. So I'm giving him the date of my event, the time, how long I'm going to be there, the address of where it's being held, and my goal for the event. So then what I can do is show me as busy because I'm going to be busy right here. Now I can actually make this event private or I can make it public. I'm just going to keep it as default. But say I want to share it with my franchisee. So I can go in and add somebody. I'm just going to add myself right now. And I can go ahead and press add. Once I press add, it'll tell me that the guest has been added. So I can give them options. I can let them have the privilege of inviting other guests. I can let them see the guest list, and I can even allow them to modify the event. So maybe if it's my franchisee, I will allow them to modify the event, but maybe if I'm inviting a spa consultant, I won't give them that option. So I'll go ahead and click modify event. That way, if the franchisee doesn't feel that it's fitting or for whatever reason, he can go in and modify it. So then I'll press save. But before I do that, I want to show you too, you have the option of repeating. So maybe this is, you've set up a business to business with this boutique to be able to go and do a promotion at their boutique every Friday. So I can do it weekly. Say it was every month. I could do it monthly, yearly. That way you don't have to go in and add it every single time. And you can have it end, maybe it's just until the end of this year. So you can go ahead and change when it will stop reminding you. So I'm going to go ahead and put weekly, and then I'll go ahead and press save. Now before it saves, since I added a guest to my calendar, it's going to ask if I want to send them an invitation. So I'm going to go ahead and press send. Now what it's going to do is it's going to send an email to the address that I just typed in, and it's going to allow that person to join the event. Now they can click yes, no, or maybe. Now once they click yes, I'll be notified that they've joined my event, and if they click no, I'll receive an email saying they have declined the event. So if it's my, if I'm scheduling one-on-ones with my spa consultants, and I'm the spa director, and they decline it, I'm going to obviously call them and say, why did you decline the event? Maybe they have a conflict. Maybe they need to reschedule for whatever reason. So you can actually go here and click it. It'll give you where it's at, what calendar it's on, so I know it's a promotion, who created it, and then who was invited, and then the date and the time of the event, right? So then if I need to change it for whatever reason, I could just go, click edit, do all my edits, and then I would press save. Now, since I made it reoccurring weekly, you can go to the next week and the following week and the following week, and you will continue to see that promotion at every Friday at the same time because I went and I made it reoccurring. So I just went ahead and pressed today to get back where I was. Now, say I wanted to share my calendar with somebody else. So I can actually go to the arrow right next to the promotions calendar that I just created, and I'll go ahead and click share this calendar. Now, I will enter the people I want to share it with. So if you're the spa director and you're having all of your spa consultants create calendars so they can organize their day, tell them, go ahead and plan out your day hour by hour. Maybe they're one of those people that needs to be managed hour by hour in order to hit goals. So from 9 to 10, I'll go ahead and do missed reds. From 10 to 11, I'll go ahead and, call leads or, whatever task item they are doing, I'll go ahead and have them put it on their calendar. It's going to be great reminders for them so they don't forget, and it's going to be an accountability tool for you as a franchisee or for you as the spa director. So you can go and look at their calendar and say, okay, well, this was on your calendar. Did you get it completed? If not, why? So it gives you an idea of what their day looks like. That way they can't just make things up. It was actually on their calendar and they were supposed to do it. So to share the calendar, I'm going to go ahead and type again just my email address in. And then I could fool with the permission settings so they can see all event details. Just let them look at my calendar, see if I'm free or busy. So it would only it wouldn't let them know what I'm doing. It would just let them know if I'm available or not. I could let them make changes to the events or make changes in manages. If you're sharing your personal calendar with someone, just so they know if, like we do here to schedule meetings, I would only allow them to see the event details. That way they wouldn't change any of your stuff. So then I could go ahead and press save. And that way, that person now has access to my calendar. Now, you can request access to someone else's calendar. They would just have to give you permission. So if we go to where we just were, the share this calendar, I could actually make this calendar public. So if somebody searches for me, they'll be able to see this calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back. But now you know how to add an event, how to, I'm going to go ahead and click my promotions, how to add an event, how to invite people to the event, how to make the event reoccurring. Now, one thing I didn't touch on that is an awesome feature of this is the notifications. So right now I have no notifications set for my promotion with my boutique. So I can go in and add a notification. Now, if I'm logged into Gmail, I can have a notification pop up on my computer. As long as Gmail is open, no matter what you're doing, it will literally open on top of any screen and just pop up. Now I can have it remind me 10 minutes before my event starts, or maybe I want it to remind me 10 days or 1 day or 10 hours or a week, whatever it is that I want, I can go ahead and click that. Or I can have it send me an email, and then you would just go ahead and save. Now, one thing that we didn't talk about was, or one thing that we did talk about that I haven't showed you, was the capability for Google Calendar to actually text you anytime you have an event. So maybe you don't have Gmail open all the time and you don't check your emails frequently, but you do check your text messages. So you could actually have Google Calendar send you a text saying, hey, you have a call scheduled with your franchisee in 1 hour or 10 minutes or whatever you want to do. So to do that, you would go to your settings, drop down to settings, you would go to your calendars. Now, I entered my email, my telephone number to begin with, but I didn't go in and select to verify it. So once you do that, you'll see general calendars, and right before labs, they'll have one more tab. It'll say mobile settings. I'm going to show you how to add that to your calendar in just a minute, but once you have the mobile settings added to your calendars, I would go to my promotions calendar. That's the one that I want to be notified for. So I would go to edit notifications right here. I'm going to click on edit notifications. Once I add my telephone, right next to email column, there's going to be another column that's going to say SMS, and that's going to text us. So maybe I want a text and an email because I check both of them, maybe not frequently, so I want them both. So maybe I want an email anytime somebody cancels my event, or I want an email of my daily agenda so I can see my whole day laid out for me. And I can go ahead and check the boxes for the SMS too once I add that to my phone. So I'm not going to save this. I just wanted to show you how to get there. Now, in order to add the SMS option to your account, what you would do is you're going to go to your settings. You're just going to go to your account. Now you're just going to go to personal info and privacy. Then you would scroll down to your telephone number. Now see right here, I don't have a number set up with this account. So I would go and add my telephone number right here, and then I would have the SMS capabilities. So when I created the first account, just to show you, I would have been able to use SMS because I linked my phone to it. But with this account, when I created it earlier, I did not link my cell phone to it. So that's why I don't have the capability to show you on here. But you would just simply go like we just did to your apps, to my account, then personal info and privacy, scroll down to your phone, add it right here. Then you would go to your calendar settings and you would have that SMS option. You would have that SMS option under the edit notifications, and you would have a mobile settings tab. So that's how you would use Google Calendars in order to hold people accountable, to plan out days, to manage hour by hour, to ensure that we're hitting the goals, and to keep everybody on the same page. Maybe I don't want to have everybody's individual calendars, but I want to create one calendar for the spa and assign different people to it. So I can just create one calendar, and under my calendars, I would add different people. So I would have Brittany's calendar, I would have Brandy's calendar, I would have Anna's calendar, and everybody would be responsible for fulfilling their duties and functions on that calendar. So Google Calendars is really awesome, and like I said, you can download the app straight to your phone. It'll pop up. That way you don't even have to worry about the text messaging. It'll just pop up right on your phone, just like it would if you would get a text message. So the app is very cool, and it's really simple and easy to operate. So now we're going to go on to Google Forms, which I think is going to be the most anticipated item on today's agenda. So Google Forms actually allows us to generate leads. So we can generate leads from our promotions, from B2Bs, any corporate accounts we set up. We can post them on Facebook as a lead generator, send them around to, maybe it's Teacher Appreciation Day, and I know a teacher at a school. I'm going to give her this Google Form link and have her send it to all of the teachers. Tell them it's a free day of spa. All they have to do is fill it out, right? So I'm using this as lead capture. So what it does is it's going to allow us to quickly create a lead capture or manage event registration. Maybe we are having a spa party and we need everybody to register for this event. I can go ahead and create a registration form and send it out, get the emails of the people, send it out to them, have them put their name. Maybe I even want to attach the personal spa profile, have them fill it out before they come in. That way it saves them time. Once they're in the spa and we already know what they're interested in, we can have a game plan when they come in. The options are endless with Google Forms. So the cool thing about Google Forms too is it also is going to generate for us in a different sheet. It's called Google Sheets. It's going to generate all the responses. Now what I like to do is take that Google Sheet and turn it into a tracking log. So I have everybody's name, number, information, all that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you sheets. We can go ahead and add categories and columns and say, did we schedule a read with this person? Yes or no? Did we call them? Did they answer? Did we leave a voicemail? Did we send an email? Did we send a text message? So you can do as much or as little with it as you want, but it does organize all of the responses for you in one easy to use sheet. So Google Forms, Google actually just updated their forms. They've made it very, very simple and easy to use. They have a lot of existing themes that are color coordinated. They're easy to use. If you need to make a form very quickly, their already created forms are the way to go. But you can also customize them with our logo, or maybe use any lifestyle images. Maybe we're promoting spray tans, so I can go in Orion and find an image of a beautiful sun-kissed girl, and I want to put that on my form to promote sunless color. So I can actually go into Orion directly from Google Forms and draw the image straight off Orion. I don't have to download it to my computer, then upload it. I don't have to do any of that. But say I do have an image on my computer that I do want to upload, I do have that option and capability to upload it to my Google Form. So you can choose from a bunch of question options. So if we're asking a yes or no question, we can make it multiple choice. If we're asking for their name, we would just make it a short text box. Maybe we are sending a customer satisfaction survey. How pleased are you with our services? Please let us know on a scale of 1 to 10. We have that option too. So you have endless options on Google Forms. It's easy to use. It's mobile friendly, so it's easy for us to create and it's easy for our users to use. So most people check their emails on the go from their cell phone. So if they were to open up an email that we sent them with this Google form, it would be mobile optimized. It would be very simple for them to just type all their information in and press submit. They wouldn't have to pull it up on the computer to be able to see it correctly. They could absolutely do it from their phone or from their tablet. So with our Google Forms, you can add collaborators and say one of my spa consultants was making a Google form for an event that we're having, but she got caught up and did not get the chance to finish it. She could go in and add Ashley to the form, and Ashley could go in and finish it. So, and once you add a collaborator too, they are also allowed to view your responses. So everybody will have access to view it. That way everybody can take part in making sure that we're calling these people, doing the proper outreach, and getting them in and ensuring that they become a read. So now I'm going to show you how to create your basic Google form. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our, I'm going to X out some of these for us just to make sure that we're not all over the place. I have so many things opened. So I'm just going to go back to my Gmail account. Now again, I'm just going to go to my Google Drive. I think this is the easiest way to get to it. The other way you can get to it would be to go to more. And like I told you, the more you use an app, it'll show up here. Your most frequently used apps are going to show up at the top. But you can press even more from Google, and you can actually go in and find your Google Forms this way. So just scroll down to Home and Office, and right here where it says Forms, I would click the Form button. But I do want to show you how to get to it from Drive, just because I think that's the easiest way. And most of the time you're going to have your Drive open because you're going to be searching for documents in Orion. You're going to be utilizing Drive. So Drive's going to be the easiest way to get to it. So just go to my Drive icon. And then for new, right here where it says New, I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And then you'll see Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And I'm going to go down to More, and I'm going to click my Google Forms. Now, it's going to take me to a page, and this is what your Google Forms is going to look like. So first things first, I'm going to title my form. Now this right here at the top is going to be from me. Only I'm going to be able to see this. So nobody else that I'm sending this form to is going to be able to see this. So maybe I want to title it, Spa Pass or Free Day at the Spa. Or maybe I'll just title it Guest Pass. Guest Pass. So now I'm going to go to my untitled form right here. Now, just be careful because when you change the title up here, it does automatically do it for you. Obviously, I don't want it to say Guest Pass as the title of my form, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. So I'm going to say Free Day of Spa Services. Then I'm going to add a description, right? So it can be short and simple. Please fill out the form below to receive your free day of spa services from Plano Beach. Right, so I'll just keep it simple. So then I'll go to my first question, my untitled question. So what's the first thing that we're going to want to know? Obviously, it's going to be their name. So I'm going to go ahead and type name right here. Now, right next to the name bar, you're going to see this where it says multiple choice. It's going to have a little arrow. It's a drop down. So for multiple choice, I don't need a name. For name, I don't need a multiple choice question. So I'm going to go ahead and press short answer. Now it's going to change the type of question to short answer. So they're going to go ahead and type their name. Say I wanted to add a hint text under the name. I would go to these little dots right here and click it, and I'll press hint text. So under name, I can put first and last. Now, I want this question to be required because if I don't know their name, it's going to be hard for me to find out who they are. It's going to be hard for me to call them. So this required word, I'm going to go ahead and click that dot. It's going to turn it on. So now this question is going to show up as a required question. They will not be able to submit the form unless they fill this question out. Now, say I messed up, I could go ahead and press this little trash can and it would delete my question. But maybe I want to use the same type of question. So the little icon right next to it is the duplicate button. I can go ahead and press that. It's going to duplicate that question. So I'll go ahead and change name to phone number. And I'll change my text to best daytime number. Oh, I just accidentally deleted my text. So my hint text, I'll say best daytime contact number. And then I also want it to be a short answer text. So if I wanted to create a new question without duplicating it, I would go over here to my little bars on the side and I would click the plus sign. That's going to be add question. So the next thing I'm going to want to know is their email address. So I don't want it to be multiple choice. Once again, I want it to be short answer. I am going to make it a required question. And for this one, I'm not going to put a help text. So maybe the next thing I want to know is, how did you hear of us? Or have you ever visited a Plano Beach before? So let's say, have you ever That way we know how much knowledge they have about Plano Beach. Do they know anything about us, or is it brand new to them? So this question might help us just get a little more insight on that. So for option 1, I'm going to leave this one as multiple choice. So I'm going to go ahead and put yes, and I'm going to go ahead and add another option. And for my option 2, I'm going to go ahead and put no. And I accidentally added too many options, so all I have to do is go and click the X right next to it. And I'm also going to make this a required question. Now I'm going to add another question, and I'm going to say, if yes, which location did you visit? Maybe I'm just being nosy, right? But I'm just showing you the options of questions that you can have. So we have a multiple choice question up here, which is required. Now this one, I'm not going to make it required because if they answered no, they're not going to have an answer to this question. So I'm going to uncheck multiple choice, and I'm going to make it short answer again. And then that's it. Maybe that's all I want my form to be. Quick, easy, and simple. So these icons at the top right here, you'll notice the one that looks like an eye. That's going to be your preview icon. If you click it, it's going to show you what your form looks like live. So if I were to send it out, this is what it looks like as of now. The required ones have the stars next to it, and then there's a submit button. So from here, you can press this little pencil and it'll go back and let you edit it, or you can just X out the form and it'll take you back to your editing location. Now say we don't want our form to be purple. So we go up here to the top where this little color palette is. Maybe we're doing a form for Valentine's Day, so we want it to be red. I can go ahead and click the red button. Maybe we're doing it pink, so I want it to be pink. Now you also have the option to customize it. So this one at the bottom right here, that looks like the little land, it'll take you to customizable themes. So maybe we're doing a promotion for St. Patrick's Day. I can go ahead and press select, and it'll go ahead and change my form to the option that I just clicked. So I'm doing a promotion for St. Patrick's Day, and I want to add a picture to it. Maybe I don't have anything about Plano Beach. Maybe I want to add our logo. So I'll go up here and I can press add image. Now I can, if I have a picture on my computer that I want to use, I can upload an image straight from my computer, or like I was telling you before, you can upload it straight from your Google Drive. So I'm going to show you how to upload it from Google Drive. So I'll go to my drive, I'll go to my documents, and there's an advertising and marketing folder, which I'm going to click on. And these are all the pictures that we have available to us, right? So maybe I just want to put our Spray and Spa logo. So I'm just going to choose one of these images and press select. It's going to go ahead and insert that image into my form. Now I'm going to center my image. Now maybe I just want to see how it looks. So I'm going to press preview, and again it's going to generate that live form. So this is what our form now looks like. We have the St. Patrick's Day theme at the top with our logo right here, our name, phone number, email address, and all of those good things. So I just want to show you what it looked like. I'm going to X that out now. If you make a mistake, all you have to do is delete your image. Now you also have the option to customize the top where the leprechauns and pot of gold are. You would just go to your palette and you could upload your own photo, or you could use photos that you already have uploaded, right? So you would just click on whatever photo you want and press select, and then it would customize that top header for you. Or like we just did, you can add photos directly into your form just by pressing that add image button. This would be if you wanted to add a video, and this would be if you wanted to add a section. So at the bottom, maybe I want to add a new page. I could press add section, and I could continue on with my questions. If I make a mistake and accidentally add it, I have the option to delete this section, or I can merge with the section above, right? So anything that you do is fixable, and you'll notice at the top right next to guest passes, it says all changes saved in Drive. So everything I do is automatically saving. So if I accidentally X out, my work will not be lost. It automatically saves after everything you do, which is very cool. So now I'm going to show you how to send this form. So now that we created our form, let's go in and add our picture one more time just because I think it looks better. Very simple, easy to do. Gonna go add my image. Did it go? Do it one more time. Select. Not working? There we go. It's just taking a second to load. Now I have two, so I'm just gonna delete one. Gonna center my image. And now I'm gonna press send. So if I wanted to send this form straight from here, just this form, I could type in email addresses. make a subject and include a message, right? And press include the form in my email. So you could send it directly from here, or you could get the link. If you're looking to post it on Facebook, or if you want to insert it in your email as a link, you can absolutely do so. So you would just go right here. You could press the copy button, or if you want the short version, you could click shorten URL. You would just press copy, and now you have your link copied to your form. So what you could do is go to your email. You could create a new email, and you could actually hyperlink it. So I could go to my hyperlinks, and I will paste my link, and maybe I want it to say free day of spa. So I'll press OK. Now it's hyperlinked, right? So they can actually click on this. It doesn't show on the form. It doesn't show up as a form, but it shows up as this clickable link. They can click on it, and it'll actually take them to the live version of the form. So very simple, very easy to use. If we go to send, and I can post that link on Facebook. Now, if I created a business to business with someone and they have their own website and they are going to allow me to post my Google form on their website in order to generate leads, I would need the embedded HTML. So what I would do is next to this link button, there's the one with the 2 arrows. I would go here and I would copy this link. Then you could send it to the website developer, and they could embed the link and have the form show up on their website, and it wouldn't show up as a link, it would show up as the actual form. So you could go ahead and fill it out right there. It's the same thing for emails. If you use something like MailChimp or an email account that uses HTML codes to write the email, you could embed this link into the email. That way you wouldn't have to click on a link, the form would actually just show up in the email. So this is the code that you would need. But I just wanted to show you how to do that. And so that's how you would send your form. Now, let's view the live form again, and I'm going to go ahead and fill it out so I can show you where the responses go once you've made this form. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this form out. Brandy, phone number, email address. Have I ever visited Plainey Beach before? Let's say no. And I don't have to answer this question because it's not required. I'm going to press submit. So once I submit, it says your response has been recorded. Now it does give them the option to submit another response because maybe they have 5 friends sitting at their computer who want to fill out this free day of spa services. They could click submit another response and it would take them right back to the form. So I'm just going to X that out. I wanted to show you how it looks once you respond to it. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this so my responses show up. So you'll notice right here next to questions, there's a response button that I went ahead and clicked on. Now, you can actually view your responses right here from the form itself. It'll show you the summary. So name, it says 1 response. If there were 2 responses, you would see 2 names. If there were 3 responses, you would see 3 names. Or you can view it individually. So if I want to see the form that Brandy filled out, I can actually go to the form and see the actual form that she filled out. But what I would suggest doing for every single form would be to this little button right here with the green plus sign. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm always going to want to create a new spreadsheet, right? So I'm going to press create. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a Google Sheet for me with my GuestPass responses. So now I'm able to see the time and date that she filled it out, the name, phone number, email address. Have you ever visited Plainey Beach before? Now, what I was talking about turning into lead tracking, I could go in and add my own categories. Did they schedule an appointment? Yes or no? Did I leave a voicemail? Yes or no? So you can go ahead and turn it into a lead tracking log. You can even highlight after you're done. Maybe they came in and they were a red appointment. I'll highlight them in red. For everybody that I wasn't able to get in contact with, or they said no, that they don't want to come in, I can highlight in a different color. So you can color coordinate it as you feel fit, and I'm actually going to get more in depth with you on Google Sheets and how to operate them, but I did just want to show you what it looks like when they submit a form. So you can get to your responses from the form itself, or if you go to Drive You'll go to your drive. Now, I created a form earlier when I was playing around that said guest passes. So I now have two that say the same thing. So you want to make sure you're naming your forms differently so that you know how you know which ones they are. So now I'm just going to go to my Google Form responses, and there's the one that I just filled out that I highlighted in red. So my responses are going to show up exactly where my forms show up in my drive. So say somebody shared something with me in my drive, they shared with me responses, I created the form and I shared it with my coworkers so that they're able to see the responses too. Their response sheet is going to show up under shared with me because they were not the creator of the sheet or of the form, I'm sorry. So it'll show up with shared with me right under my drive. So I'm just going to go back to my drive. If you accidentally create one and you want to delete it, all you have to do is right click and you can press remove. Now say I just created this guest pass, which I created earlier. I'll show you, it's basically the same thing, just with a different image I inserted into the picture. Say I want to make one form for all of my B2Bs so I can track them. So I want to make one for my boutique, I want to make one for the flower shop, one for the dentist office, or wherever I have B2Bs with. All I would have to do is right click it and press make a copy. All it's going to do is make a copy of my guest pass. So then I could name this one. I would right click it again, press rename, and I would say floral guest pass. That way I know where my leads are coming from. So then when I go to floral, I'll go to view it. Again, I'll just, to my responses, I'll go in and create another sheet so all my responses show up. So now when I'm in my drive, I'll see my floral guest pass and my floral guest pass responses. That way I know where my leads are coming from. I know if it's a beneficial business to business. I know if I'm getting a lot of leads from them, I need to be calling them at least once a week, checking with them, making sure they have everything that they need. If they need guest passes, whatever they need, I'm going to make sure that they have because I'm generating a lot of traffic from them. So this is a great way to see where your leads are coming from and track them. So now that you know how to make a form, you know how to copy the form, you know how to view the responses in a form, that's really all the basis of Google Forms. If you have any more questions on it or if I wasn't clear on something, you can email me after this after this webinar, and I'll answer any questions that I may not have gotten to. So like we did, we created a form, we updated, enhanced it, and I showed you how to view your responses. So that pretty much covers all the bases of Google Forms. So what we're going to get into now is going to be Google Voice. So for those of you who are not familiar with Google Voice actually allows you to create your own Google Voice number and link it with your Gmail account. So you'll go ahead and create a number. It can be an area code near you, and you can text your members and your prospects for free. So it also gives you the option to do call forwarding. So say my prospect that I'm texting decides they want to call me. If they call that number that I'm texting them from, technically it's not a cell phone. So where would it ring, right? So it gives you the option to call forward. And what you would do is plug in your SPA's number for the call forwarding option. And it would allow you to answer the phone whenever they called from the SPA. So anytime they call that number, the SPA's phone is going to ring. So like I was just saying, you can get a local area code number. That way, if we're calling people from Google Voice or if we're texting them from Google Voice, it's going to show up as someone local. They're more likely to answer with an area code that they know than someone out of state, out the country. So you can actually choose your own area code and number. So now I'm going to show you how to create a Google Voice account and how to use Google Voice for prospecting. So there's one of two ways you can get to it. Again, we can go to our apps, go to more, and we would just go ahead and find Google Voice. So mine's loading. Just scroll down till you see Google Voice, which is again under Home and Office. I'm just going to go ahead and click it from here. Or you could just Google it. Just type in voice and it'll pop up once you're logged into your Gmail. So I do not currently have a Google Voice number set up with this account. So what I'm going to do, on the left-hand side, it says get a voice number. I'm going to go ahead and click that. You can use your mobile number that you already have, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new number, which is going to be the best, I think, for intents and purposes of this. I'm going to use my desk phone to forward it to. Actually, I'm going to use my cell because I'm using my desk phone to be on this webinar with you guys. And it's a cell phone, so I'm going to press continue. Now what it's going to do is you're going to hear my, well, you're not going to hear it because my phone's on silent, but my phone's about to ring and I'm going to have to verify it. So I'm waiting for that to happen. I'll press call me now. So it's going to call my phone. So I just entered my access code. Okay, so now that I've verified the number, so what you would do would be to type in your SPA's number and then press call me now. Once it calls you, you would enter the 2-digit code to verify that that is in fact the forwarding number that you want to be reached at, and then your account would be activated. Now we have to create our number. So my area code is 504. We're in New Orleans. So I'm going to search for my area code. So we see you have Lafitte, Jesuit Bend, and you can go to next to kind of get different numbers. So since I'm in New Orleans area, I'm just going to select the New Orleans number. You could find whichever one your little heart desires and click on that button. Then you just press continue. So now it's adding my Google Voice. And congratulations, you've set up Google Voice, right? So we're going to press finish. Now we are going to have more options on the side. It says receive SMS and voicemail and Hangouts. So you'll see the option up here to call and text. I would mainly use Google Voice for texting. So what you could do would be to type a number. So I'm just going to type mine. You just pull any list that you want from Spot Intel. Maybe you got, you want to look at all of our prospects that have been in the last 60 days, all of our missed guests who came in, did a service with us, but didn't become a member. Maybe we want to offer them another free day at the spa. So we're going to actually give you a couple of templates to be able to use when talking or when texting, but I'm just going to do a generic one right now. Let's say good morning, and it has to be under 160 characters. So good morning from Planet Beach Marrero. It's the closest one to me. Good morning from Planet Beach Marrero. You have been gifted a day at the spa. Reply yes to take advantage of this offer. Offer expires. Offer expires, let's say, March 31st, 2016. Right? And then I would just press send. Very short and sweet and simple. So now I'm just going to open this one so it goes away. So now if I go to my inbox, or my text, I'm sorry, it's going to show up as a text. It's going to show up as a strand of email. So I just sent a text to this number. Good morning from Planet Beach Marrero. You've been gifted a day at the spa. Reply yes to take advantage of this offer. Offer expires March 31st, 2016. So I just got the text on my phone because I texted myself, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when they reply. So I said yes. Now your inbox is going to say you have one. So I'm going to go to my text. And now it shows up in green. You can see that they replied yes. What you can actually do is reply straight back from here. Great. You can say, will today work for you? What time today or tomorrow would you like to come in? But we do need to get their name and number because most of the time, because most of the time you're going to be printing a list and you're going to be typing in number after number after number and just sending these text messages. So great. I just need your first and last name to confirm your appointment. I'm not going to continue typing, but great. I just need your first and last name to confirm your appointment. Will today or tomorrow work for you? Or what time today or tomorrow would be the best for you? question mark, and will you be bringing a friend with you? That way we're getting their name. I'll go in, since I pulled this report from Spot Intel, all I have to do is type in their name and their information is going to pop up. I'll make them a red appointment on whatever date and time they text me back. And then I'm also asking for a friend, right? So I've personally done this, and most of the time the response is, oh, wait, I can bring someone. So they're not even aware that they are able to bring someone. So you're not just making one red, but you're making 2 red appointments. So this is great for texting our new prospective members. This is great for texting members if we have sales going on, or whatever the case may be. You can use Google Voice to increase sales, to increase traffic through our doors. The possibilities are endless here. So this is how you use Google Voice. That's how you set up a number. Now, anytime somebody would call this number, the call forwarding that you put on would ring. So Google Voice is very simple and easy to use. Texting is very good, especially with millennials these days. People aren't always able to answer their cell phone or their phone, or whatever the case may be. They might be in a meeting, they may not want to talk, or they may not answer for numbers that they don't know. I know for me personally, I'm that way. So even though I leave a voicemail, they may not listen to voicemails. So texting is a great way to reach the audience that does not answer their phone or doesn't listen to voicemails. It's that alternate option. Now, just because you start using Google Voice to text doesn't mean you should stop doing all of your other Reds efforts. You should still be calling, you should still be emailing, leaving voicemails. They should be layering efforts. They shouldn't just be one or the other. So just remember that when you start to use Google Voice. It is a great tool, and I do think it works very well. After this webinar, we're going to get a folder together. It's going to have the recorded webinar of this in there, and I'm also going to get for you guys some templates to use if you got their name from a promotion, or if you got their name from a friend, or whatever the case may be. Just a couple of different options to text your members and your prospects. So that'll be in the folder for you after the webinar. So this is how to use Google Voice. Again, if you have any questions after the webinar, we will be available. So the very last item I want to get into with you guys is going to be Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets you already had a little taste of after I created the Google form for you and I submitted the response, and I went and created the responses. I created a sheet for the responses. That way I can use it as lead tracking. I can have all my information in one place, very simple and easy to use. So in Google Sheets, everybody can work together in the same spreadsheet at the same time. So I can share a Google Sheet with my franchisee, with my spa director, with my consultants. I can share it with whoever they want, and everybody can be in the sheet at the same time and working on it together. So it can be a collaborative effort. And the cool thing about Google Sheets is it actually updates in real time. So if I'm over here and my friend Lacey is on the other sheet at her house, I can be typing and she can actually see what I'm typing at the exact time I'm typing it as I'm doing it. So it updates in real time. You can edit your own spreadsheets wherever you go, again, from your phone, tablet, or computer. Again, there's an app for Google Sheets that you can download on your phone or tablet. And the cool thing about Google Sheets is you can actually update it even when there's no internet connection. So if you go in and update your sheet, and you say you're on an airplane, you're updating your sheet, it's not going to update in real time because you're not connected to the internet. But as soon as you connect to the internet, everything that you've just been working on is going to update automatically with no questions asked. And it's automatically going to save for you, just like all of our other Google tools, which is why I love working in Google. You never have to worry about losing information or losing your work. It automatically syncs and saves for you. So another cool thing about Google Sheets is you can see the revision history. So if I'm the franchisee and my spa director is doing her daily marketing checklist, I can go in and see how far she is along on that checklist and see what she's done today, at what time she started doing it. If she just went in 5 seconds before I called her and made changes, I can go in and look at it. If she is doing collections efforts and she's supposed to be doing them every single day, I can go in and make sure that she's calling the people, emailing them. I can see how many people she's calling a day. I can see when's the last time she looked at it. You can see everything. So it's a great way to hold them accountable. And last but not least, the cool thing about Google Sheets is if you have an Excel file that you're currently using on your computer, you can import it to your drive and convert it to a sheet. That way it can be shared. You can view it not just from the spot computer, but anywhere you are. You never have to go back and re-update it. You never have to worry about losing it. You can update it to a Google Sheet, share it with everyone, and let everybody collaborate on that one sheet. So now I'm going to show you Google Sheets and how to use them. So see, I just started using Google Voice. It asks me right here if I want to make it a shortcut. So I went ahead and pressed yes. So now under my apps, you'll see that Google Voice is now a shortcut because I just use it. So I'm just going to go to more. And what you can do is go to Sheets, like the way that we've been doing. Go to your apps, go to more, press Sheets, or like we were talking about, just go to our drive, press new, and then you can actually get to Google Sheets from here. So if you want to create your own Google Sheet for whatever reason, you can go here, title the sheet, tracking log. Although we pretty much have everything created for you. We always say don't reinvent the wheel. We have everything available to you. So now I'm going to show you how you can create. I'm just going to X out some of these so I don't have so many open. So I'm going to show you how you can take one of our tracking logs. So if you wanted to create a new one, you just go to Sheets and press New. If you wanted to import, say you have an Excel file on your computer that you want to use, you would press Import. You can press Upload, and then you could select your Excel file from your computer, and it would be converted into a Google Sheet. And then you would just press Select and save it, right? But I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you how. So I'm going to X out of this for now. I'm going to go to my Google Drive. So we were just talking about collections efforts. So let's see. Let's go to Spa Performance, the best folder, and let's go to Management. So we'll go to Goal Management. Now you'll see any file that has the X by it signifies Excel. So anything you see with an X can be converted into a Google Sheet. So I see the cancellations and collections efforts tracking log. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click it because I'm in my Orion documents under my Google Drive, and I'm going to press make a copy. It's that simple. I've just created my own copy and it's now saved in my drive. So I can press locate, or I can just go to my sidebar and press my drive. Now you'll see, even though the file I just took was from the Orion documents, it is now on my personal drive. So it says copy of cancellations and collections efforts. I can right click it and I can rename it. So maybe I don't want it to say copy of, maybe I just want it to say cancel and collections tracking log. So then I'll press OK. So now that's what it's going to look like. Now, anytime you have an Excel file that you either imported or that you took from our Orion documents, it's going to show up with an X. So I'm going to click it. And at the top right here, you're going to see Open with Sheets, the little sheet icon. I'm going to press Open. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to create another document of Google Sheets. So now when I go back to my drive, I'm going to see two cancellations and collections tracking efforts. I'm going to see one for Excel and one for Sheets. So like I just told you, since I opened it with Sheets, I see one for Excel and one with Sheets. Since we only have 15 gigabytes of storage, what I would go ahead and do is right click and remove the Excel file, just so you don't get confused. It makes it simple. That you only have one file, and then you could just open it and there's your Google Sheets. Now, what I was talking about, updating in real time, so I can literally type in, let's see, Mary Smith, her number, same number, whatever. And now anytime you see an arrow on a Google Sheet, it signifies a drop down. So maybe that's her home number, put her email address, and you can go over her mailing address, date of cancellation requests. Maybe it's collections. So Joe Blow, mobile number, you'll see their balance on account, balance without late fees, how long they've been a member. We go in and fill all this out. We do that before we reach out to them. Then we do our call, right? So if they did we leave a voicemail? Did they answer? Did nobody, was it an invalid number? I'll go ahead and click my drop down, the date of when I reached out, And everything that I do automatically saves, like we've been talking about. So one of the things I was telling you about was the revision history. So I'm trying to hold my staff accountable. I'm the franchisee. I want to make sure that every day my spa director is doing her cancellations efforts or her collecting efforts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sheet that she's supposed to be working in. I'm going to press file, and I'm going to drop down to you see revision history. Then I'm going to press it. Now you can see everything that happened. So today at 12:12, this was all that there was. It was just Tony. Then I also can see Brittany made it. So then at 12:13, Brittany went and she edited it. Now it says Mary Smith, and it shows you the time that she did it and what she did. So she only typed the stuff in blue at that time. So that's a good way to hold them accountable, to see what they're doing, and that way nobody can say, oh, well, I went in and updated the sheet, because you can actually go in and check. So it will keep them on their toes, it will keep them honest, and it will ensure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I made this sheet. Now I want to share it with my other spa consultant. So it's private, it's only to me. So what I can do up at the top would be press share, and I can type in the name right here. So I'm going to share it with myself again. Now I can give options. So I can let Brandy edit it, comment, or view. Now, if you go ahead and click the advanced settings, you'll notice who has access, right? So it says private, only you can access. If you don't go in and change this setting first and send it, it will still be okay. But what will happen is, after I send this email, if I were to go back and just send it without changing the private, it would send them an email saying that I have shared a sheet with them. Then they would go to view it, and when they would go to view it, it would say request access to see the responses or to see this sheet. So they would actually have to click request access. It would then send me, the person who invited them, an access request form, and I would press yes, and then they would be able to see it. So in order to avoid having to do all those extra unnecessary steps, all you would have to do would be go to advanced, where it says private, I would click change, then I would press on anyone with a link. So now when I send this out, right here you can see I'm inviting Brandy. Now Brandy will be able to open it automatically. She won't have to request access. She will just be able to see it as soon as I send it to her. Or if I don't want to invite them this way, I can go up here where it says link to share, and I could copy that link and paste it in an email and send it to Brandy. But this is the easiest way to do it, because you don't have to go type an email, you don't have to copy the link, it sends it directly to them. That's the cool thing about Gmail. It does everything from exactly where you are. So go ahead and press send, and now I'll just press done. And now Brandy, or my actual email, will receive an email saying, Britt Nicole has invited you. As you can see right here, it just popped up. That's my actual email. They've just sent me a request to be able to go in and edit the sheets and view them. So you can see the revision history. You can share it with people. And then if you want to know who's in the sheet with you, right next to comments, the little picture will pop up next to it. So if, say, my friend Lacey's in it with me, her picture will pop up right next to the comments button. Maybe Ashley's in the sheet too. Her picture will pop up. You'll be able to see everybody in the sheet, and you'll be able to see who's using it at the same time as you, who's making revisions with the revision history. And you can use it as lead tracking. You can use it for whatever your little heart desires. But we have so many sheets for you in Orion that you can use. Let's, for example, just type in another one, Go Paperless folder. Under here we have our daily marketing and prospecting checklist. So I would just go again to go to my drive, search it, go to right click it, press make a copy. It's automatically saved in my drive. All I have to do is go to my drive, and there it is, the copy. Again, I can rename it. I don't want it to say copy of, I just want it to say daily prospecting checklist and lead tracking log. I would press OK. Now again, once I click it, I'm going to open with sheets at the top. It's going to go ahead and create a new sheet for me. So I'm going to go back to my drive, and delete the other Excel version. That way I'm saving storage and I'm not getting myself confused. And then I can go to my lead prospecting checklist. I can fill it out. I can do my lead tracking log, my new member follow up, B2B measurements, outside promotions. You can add a new tab. All you'd have to do is press the plus sign to be able to add a sheet. You can create your own sheet. If you don't want a sheet, you could delete it or you can duplicate it. Whatever it is, maybe you want lead tracking logs for each of your consultants. That way you know who's talking to who's doing their outreach. You can make a lead tracking log for Ashley, lead tracking log for Brittany. Whoever it is that you want to create these sheets for, you can create, take away, but they're there for you to use at your disposal. So that is Google Sheets. Again, you can get everywhere from Google Drive. Google Drive is going to be your best friend. It houses all of the documents. You can get anywhere from here. If for some reason you can't find it, it's going to be in your apps. So again, just know where your app button is and use these tools to your benefit. They're so beneficial, and they've got so many great tools for you to use and utilize, and you're really going to see an increase in traffic and an increase in sales if you start using these tools. Thank you so much for joining me. I went a little over an hour. I'm sorry. I just wanted to be thorough with these tools to make sure everybody knows how to use them. If you have any questions or I wasn't clear or maybe I went too fast on something, please email us at Spa Performance, or you can email your individual performance consultant. If you had to hop off of this webinar or you were on and off, it will be recorded, so you can go ahead and watch it at your leisure or send it to your spa consultants or whoever it is that is going to be utilizing these tools for your spa. And I thank y'all so much for joining us.